Alright, so this is a story that completely fell under the radar for me. Rob Schneider, who, if you don't know who Rob Schneider is, he's a comedian. He's done a ton of films with Adam Sandler and his group, Kevin James, Chris Rock, all of them. And he also has been a stand-up comic for decades. And recently, he had a show in Canada, and he made a lot of jokes towards the gay community and the trans community. And, and I hate saying community there because like I get it's a common trait, but like I know people who do not want to associate all. Like I find actually no. Well, with most people when it comes to that group, I find the majority of the people I know who are gay, or lesbian, trans, whatever, they don't want to be associated with uh, the kind of crowd that Rob Schneider ended up obtaining through his special. But anyways, after that special, he was blacklisted in Canada temporarily through social media and that, and as well, the there were multiple petitions and movements to get him canceled, even though I think we all see now, like, if you're just saying no to being canceled, I hate that word too because it's so dumb. And it's not like it really has any effect on your life unless you make money through being a public figure. But odds are the public figures that get canceled have millions of dollars. But in the case of Rob Schneider, he like he said, was very bare bones and lighthearted, right? Like, I'm sure if he really wanted to, he could dig into, you know, more dark LGBTQ jokes. But I don't know what it is, man. When in Canada, I just you hear about the left in America, right? The left in Canada is just something completely different. Um, and now, before I get into this, I want to preface this with something that everybody who is way too into politics does not realize is that politics isn't an end all be all for your entire life. Like, I know of so many people who don't talk to family members. I even have a few like friends that won't talk to friends because of political opinions or just opinions on their day to day life. It's a bunch of stupid shit, honestly. And, you know, I make videos on politics. Which, by the way, if you like this video, go check out my other ones. Um, like, it's so tough because I want to make so many jokes right here about, you know, the LGBTQ community and what happened to Rob Schneider. But, like, I can't make them. So, before I do end up making one, I want to pull. Why isn't. There we go. Uh, so, this is part of the podcast that Rob Schneider did with Tucker Carlson, where he gets into why what he was canceled for was stupid, but then he just starts going off on everything in Canada. He goes off against the response to the Freedom Convoy, which I don't think I've shared my opinion on that whole fucking shit that went down. Um, but I'll give that later on. But anyways, now from rambling. Yeah, it was.
Join us. Go to tuckercarlson.com right now to get.
Wait. I need to make sure that there's audio. Or no, there's not. That is a good thing I caught that anyways. Go back here and let's retry this.
Your tickets. See you there. So you got cut off. You were talking about Canada and the tyranny there. Obviously, lots of great Canadian people. I know you would agree. But the country's in term.
He did say a lot before this, but he gets into more of it here. But the main point of this video, I want to talk about his cancellation, and then later on, I'm gonna go off on a whole tangent of a bunch of fucking weird encounters I've had with people in real life and the internet. I won't share all of them. I can go on for hours. But like Canada, I'm telling you, is so much different than the States, and the way people like absorb politics is way worse. Anyways.
Turmoil. It's an authoritarian country. But you were punished by the Canadians for telling naughty jokes.
I was. They really went after me, and it hurt not at all. I loved it. I remember my favorite thing was because it was accused of being transphobe, which is like it's just a fill in the blank, whatever you are.
Yeah.
So you tell jokes. I mean, the fact of the matter is, like, if we're just gonna throw biological reality out, the truth, it could be not nice, but it's never hateful.
No.
The fact that and I said I did some jokes about that I do my stand-up act. That if I had a son and if he sucked at sports like I did, and I wanted him to be a champion.
Okay. I cut it off at a bad moment right there. But like, what he's saying there is, what I want to see from more celebrities, and I'm seeing now slowly with actors and comedians who weren't speaking up about this before are coming up with it now, where, like, at the end of the day, what the left doesn't realize and what the right doesn't realize about the left is that whenever they freak the fuck out, especially when it comes to comedy, right? That is the intended. That's one of the intended reactions. I cannot speak of making controversial jokes, like Dave Chappelle, right? Dave Chappelle is my all-time favorite comedian. Everything from the Chappelle Show to his specials to his Netflix specials. I really think I think Dave Chappelle is one of the greatest fucking comedians out there. And, if you want to make it political, I disagree with him on a few things. But what he does in comedy so well is that he makes fun of everything. He'll make fun of the woke culture. He'll make fun of the right and the Trump supporters. Like, he'll torch everybody. Nobody's safe. That's what I like about Dave Chappelle. But at the end of the day, I feel like people are able to look at Dave Chappelle, whether it has to do with his race or anything about it. I find a lot more people can agree that what he says in his jokes, one, are funny, or two, have some truth to them. Anyways, let's get back to it.
Being a victory, I said, well, just go, I said, listen, it's not nice, but just go tell him, I want you to, you're losing all the guys. I want you to go and tell the coach that you're a girl. And then, no, that's the best part. You get to keep your dick. You can keep the whole thing. The whole thing. Doesn't matter. No, just tell them. And then they have to accept you. You just say it. And they said, and you win it, then I do this thing. And anyway, it gets big laughs, but it's also like, that's one thing they complained about. And people were laughing at that outrageous, humor. And I
The
said,
Canadians were mad that the audience laughed?
so one guy who was the same guy and all the complaining. And I remember like they were really laughing and then they kind of got quiet because they're too polite. Canadians are too polite. They don't want to hurt anybody's feelings, which ends up hurting everybody's feelings because then you end up having some guy who loves China running your country.
Exactly.
Admires China. So it's important to speak up and speak freely and say
That, yeah. A lot of that came where, and what he experienced is what you experience in any social gathering, I find, when you have people like this around. Most of the time, you can go out, you can have your fun, you can say what you want, but, it's so fucking weird to me. Whether it was the mainstream media that caused it, or just the fact that everybody is on social media 24/7, is that there's just a sensitivity to everything now that wasn't there before. And it's frustrating to, the people like us who, Rob Schneider, he's about to get into everything. What he sees the bullshit in the media the same way a lot of us do. And by us, I guess I mean, the Trump supporters, the ones that, lean right, even though a lot of us, like I find when you talk to somebody who who claims they're conservative now, unless they have a hardcore stance on abortion, is what the old Democratic Party was, like the Clinton Democratic Party, where, everything was hands off. If you were a Democrat, a Republican, it didn't fucking matter. The media wasn't starting these fucking shit shows out of small clips of celebrities saying controversial shit that riles people up. And the problem isn't getting people angry to get viewership. I get that. That is just a business model that sells. It's the negligence of fucking making a sizable amount of people extreme enough that they will physically attack, they will shoot, they will burn things down. When you're throwing murder around and you're throwing, democracy has fallen. Those are strong words to throw around. And, before a lot of the hot button words you hear about fascist and, alt-right and all these extremist words, you've never heard of these. Like I said, 5 years ago? I guess not 5. I'll go with 10. Wow. 10 fucking years. Wow. I'm still young, but I'm getting old and I fucking hate it. Anyways, back to the video.
Hey, when your countrymen, I said, I have nothing to apologize to you, Canada, about. If you know what I will consider an apology. Consider it when you apologize for what you did to those truckers and what you that ugliness of not supporting those people who are risking everything to drive all the way across the country, shut the country down so that this tyranny could end. And it was a powerful movement. And it was a movement and to not to stand there and let your government officials call them terrorists.
Yes.
That is
And put them in prison, which they did.
Disgraceful.
It is.
Disgraceful. And so when you make that official apology, I'll talk about how I felt and why I did certain jokes. And I have no apologies to you at all. And I'm glad I did it. And I'll do it again if you let me back in the country.
Which I assume they won't.
I will not be allowed back in the country. Just for hate speech. For jokes.
And you're not allowed on late night TV either.
I don't.
Alright, yeah. So, that's really the fucking problem, man. And you know what? It's beyond just Rob Schneider. It's beyond a comedian. It's entertainment in general, right? Where no matter what the fuck you do, if you make fun of these groups of people or you touch on these subjects, you're starting a fucking shit show no matter what. Like, Rob Schneider, he's speaking up now. Well, like, he may be pro-Trump, but he's not championing the Republican Party. You know, what I find fucking absurd to me, right, is that I find that Canada and America right now, they are in the exact same situation, right? You have a populist right-wing candidate. You got Trump in America, who ran the country for 4 years, did a great job economically. They didn't start any wars, mostly peaceful. He let the media run on with, the bullshit fucking narratives they run. He didn't make any laws to restrict the media whatsoever, or have it so the media has to approve of, or the government has to approve of whatever the media puts out. But then, that right there, the 4 years they saw Trump, that's fascism. Best economy, best international presence they've had in decades, honestly. Before Trump, America was constantly revolved around wars. After Trump, America got heavily implicated in the Ukraine war and the Israel-Palestine war, sending trillions of dollars out there. And the problem is that because of these fucking woke lunatics online, they don't fucking see all the shit at play here. But Rob Schneider, though, I hope one day he can come back to Canada. Maybe we get that apology one day, because we can't not live up to stereotype the apologetic society we have on the international scene. But I don't know. Canada is so fucking soft, dude. Oh my fucking god, I hate living in Canada. Like Canada, as day-to-day life goes, if you take away the shitty economy, we have a lot of beautiful cities. We have a lot of great places to go, right? But nobody can afford it. Uh, People, because of the media, you don't want to be around any of the fucking people who are so uh, soaked into that. People always have shit personalities. Well, like you do find a few good people out there. Like like I find, I find when, all right, I'm just trying to think whether actually no, I'm not gonna get into that story. But when you go out and you go to the gym, go to work, go to wherever you go, you end up finding like-minded people eventually. And like when you actually get out there, you realize like there are very little people who fucking agree with this fucking political culture, cancel culture, whatever the fuck. I don't know. So fucking stupid. We're all gonna be, taken over by trains. No, I'm not. I can't make that joke either. I'm gonna end this before I get a call, any kind of strike. I'm gonna get a strike for this video anyway. Alright, well anyways, thanks for watching. Later.